Okay, yesterday we were doing the sugya of the chatzotzros, the blowing of the chatzotzros. They accompanied different things. We saw there's never less than 21, never more than 48. We saw three opinions, the different 48s. Rosh Hashanah that fell out on Shabbos and you speak three musafim, or according to our Mishnah, which is when the Erev Yontif falls out, Erev Shabbos falls out during the week, and finally Erev Pesach that Erev Pesach that falls out on Erev Shabbos. We questioned that. We questioned the opinion of that. But every Korban Musaf went ahead and brought its own set of tchias and truas. That was the opinion of Achabar Chanina, and we slugged it up. Right? We slugged it up. And the Gemara is not going to continue that sluggo. So again, Rav Achabar Chanina says every Korban Musaf had its own set of 9 truas. Every had its own set of 9 truas. So that's where we're holding. We're holding Nun Hey Amid Aleph, and we're smack in the middle of the page. V'oid Tanya. Now, on the first day of Chol Hamoed, what did they say? What shira was said in the base of Mikdash? Havul Hashem b'nei Elim. Prepare for Hashem, you sons of the powerful. Why would they say on the Sheni? Why would they say on the second day of Chol Hamoed? Havul Hashem b'nei Elim. L'Rosha Amar, right? And the Rosha Amar Elikim. Who ride up for me against the Rishayim? Mia Kamli, who's going to go? Excuse me, I'm jumping ahead. Russia Amar Elikim. And Hashem says to the Russia, B'shlishim Hayoimim, Mia Yokamli Emirayim, who's going to rise up against the Rishayim? Revi'im Hayoimim, Binoi by Arim Ba'om, understand you fools among the nations. B'chamishim Hayoimim, Hasiroisi Misevel Shichmai, from the burden I removed from his shoulder, and B'shishi Hayoimim, Yamutu Kol, all the foundations of the earth they will shake. Now, Vimchal Shabbos Bech Mehem. So now Shabbos is, what do? Yamutu Yitche, which is the one that, since you only say one, guys. Now you're only saying one shira, right? Why only saying one shira? Because there's only one Korban Musaf. That's the upshlag on Rav Chanina. If so, Shabbos is going to come before, and what do? You go ahead and you get rid of Yamutu. So that's okay. That is the kasha. Again, I'm jumping ahead. Give you the kasha right now. That's the kasha, because if it's so that, why don't you say two kapitlach? Say Shabbos and say Yamutu. You only say one kapitel. Why? Because there's only one shira by one korban, meaning there's only one trua. Rav Safra manach musimana. Rav Safra gave the simanim. He called it, I don't know, humbahai. I don't say it that quickly, but hey is Havel and Elim, Vav is L'Rishayim, Amar Lakim, Mem is Mia Kamli Reim, Bina is Bina Bar Ma'am, hey is Asiroisi, Misechel Shechma, and Yud is Yamutu. Papa Manachlu Simane, Hum Habe, and he switched around the hay in the base. The only difference between the two guys is the hay in the base. He wanted the pasuk of Ba'ina Baram, understand you fools among the nations. He wanted next to, as close as possible to the departure from Yerushalayim. And therefore, of course, that's when they would give the Manas Aniyim. So that's why the difference between the two. V'simanecha, and the simon is I'm a buha de Sifri. The ambuha of Sifri is yeshiva. I think for Tinaikas Rashi says, if I remember correctly, I just have to find it. A lot of Rashis here. Gedudei Anashim Regilin Lahalik B'Mavi Shal Malam Beit Tinaikas. Right. Shatinoikas, this is the pickup day. This is the double parked cars in front of yeshiva where you get your kid in the car quickly and a lot of pressure. And this is it. There's a Afka Misha Shmoy Sifra Hanusimani Amhumbi Shadoim Letebas Ambuis. So Sifra, the Sifri is similar to the Tebas of Umbi. That's how you're going to remember it. Now the bottom line is Tiyufta Rav Achabar Chanina Tiyufta. That's your Tufta. Because he said you blow every Musaf. You see that what each one has a shira by itself. Yet over here we're saying on Shabbos Yamutu, you're putting away one, so you only have one. Why do you only have one? Because you don't have two. That's the upslug on the opinion of Rav Achabar Chanina. Okay, now here's the problem. Rav Achabar Chanina, he brought a pasuk. He wasn't saying his own thing, guys. Look back at yesterday's stuff. Look back at Nun Dal and Amin Aleph, guys. Nun Dal and Amin Aleph. Smack in the middle of the page. Taisva Shir. By the Taisva Shir of the Pesach, go down a few lines. Rav Achabar Chanina showed up from the south. I see Maslisim Biyada, he brought the following Tosefta along with him. Right? Ubnei Aaron Kahanim Yisku Mechatzoitzrois. Shein Tamalam Yisku. It's extra. Why? Shekvanem Sakatem. Once it says Sakatem, you blow, so we know Yisku. Why'd you say that? So he said, Ma Tamalam Yisku, Hakol Lefia Musafim. Now, what does that mean? Who Tani law? For who Arma law? He said it and he explained it. Shetoikel Kol Musaf and Musaf. So Yitzku Hakol Lefia Musafim, and he touched Hakol Lefia Musafim. Each and every Musaf gets its own. So in other words, he wasn't saying his own thing. He's saying uptouching a pasuk from a brisa. So how do you just slug him up out of the water? So says the Gemara. So what's pshat? Very good. I'll tell you pshat. Rav Acha did not learn right pshat in that pasuk. There's another pshat in that pasuk, but it doesn't mean that you say on each and every musaf you say what you blow chatzotzros. Right. He brought a pasuk of Yisku, the extra pasuk, and he brought the brisa with him from the south. Ravina loymar shemarichin b'tekiyas. You know what it means when it says akolafi amusafim toikim, that you go ahead and you be myrich in the tekiya, meaning as you're doing the nisuch on one, they would continue to blow into the second one, not a separate one, right? An extended one. When you brought one, then one musaf, and they're doing the nisuch, they'd start to blow on the first one. The blowing would extend into the second one, but not its own separate one. That's the way Rav learns pshat. That you extended in, but it wasn't a totally separate one. Ravina loymer shamrichin chis, not Rav. Rabbanan Keseri mishmei the Rav Acha Amar, and the Rabbanan of Keseri said in the name of Rav Acha, Ami loymer shemarba b'toikim. Right? You went ahead and you were marba and you increased the what? The blowers, meaning more instruments. That's all. More chatzaitrus. There's no limitation to the chatzaitrus you brought in. So therefore, they have an other way to learn pshat in the pasuk and the brisa, and therefore Rav Achi is slugged up. You don't bring on every musaf. Okay, we know that over here, and this one about there's a problem when you have 2 days of yontif. The first day of yontif, right? Everyone's going to say the share of the first day, right? You know, you're saying the amount of, not the share. We're talking about the psukim that are associated with Yom Rishon. So Yom Rishon, you brought X amount of abundance, right? Now, you know, on the first day, that's the first day. There's no question about it, right? You open up a siddha, it comes the first day, you're going to say, now, second day in Chutz La'aretz, guys, we have a suffix. We don't know if it's Chol Hamoed. We don't know if it's what it's. So now, you can't go ahead and say Yom Sheni, which Yom Sheni is Chol Hamoed, right? You can't make maybe a suffix Shabbat, a Yontif Chayil. We got a problem, right? For who in the last day you got a problem? Is it Chol Hamoed or it's a Shmini Atzeres, right? So you have and so what do? You have those 5 days in between. You got to fix 6 in. So what do? So according to Abaya, you're going to drop the second day. You're just going to completely skip the second day. On the first day, you're going to say 1. On the second day, you're going to say 1. On the second day, you're going to say 1 because maybe it is Yantif. The third day, you're going to say 3 because it's Zichar Chol Hamoed. Yom HaShlishi. Yom HaShlishi, right? There again, like you're right. And yes. I remember when you were a kid, that was such a challenge, right? Oh yeah, I was so happy when Pesach came. It was like the easy thing. Yeah, okay. That comes to America, should not get an aliyah that day. He holds 1 day. He should be in shul. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, on the third day he's going to say 3. On the fourth day he's going to say 4. He's going to say 4. You know, he's going to say on the 1. On day number first Chol Hamoed, Shlishi is going to say 3. On day 4, he's going to say 4. 5 is going to say 5. Now, Rabbi says you drop the last one. He says on the first day you're going to say 1. On the second day you're going to say 1. On the third day you're going to say 2, and then so on. And you're going to drop the Shmini Atzeres. On the 7th day of the Chag you're going to say 6. We don't do any of that. We do Merema. What Merema says is what we do. We say the first day 1, the second day 1, and then the first day Chol Hamoed we say 2, 3, 3, 4, and so forth. Okay, let's see that inside. Says the Gemara. And we gave you in bubble. What do we do? So by Sheni Yitcha, day number Yud Beis, I told you is out. Yud Beis is out. Rava Amar Shvi Yitcha, day 7 is out. You only say 6. Tanya Kabasi the Rava Imchal Shabbos Li Yois Be'echa Mehem Yemutu Yitcha. So that's a raya that what? Just like we drop on the last one from the order, if you have Shabbos the share on Shabbos, so too by the lush in the nusach of tefillah, we drop the last one. Tanya Kavase, like Rava, just like we go ahead and the share coincides with Shabbos, we drop it, the last one. Who didn't Rava, we drop the last one. Again, we're comparing the share of the yom to the nusach of tefillah. And iskin the megadle the luge, like we do, we skip and so on. Okay, guys, the next piece of Gemara can be very difficult, but it's not going to be because I took care of you. Go look at your phones. If you don't have a phone, no, come on, it's not. This is not it. Why? Okay, remind me to. I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, I think you missed it. How about if we go back?
Okay, guys, you got the picture of the numbers? Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. There are 24 mishmarim. There are 24 mishmarim, and what we want to do is want to divide up the karbanis of the Chag. Good. Now, there's on the first day of the Chag, they bought 13 parim. On the second day, they bought 12, descending 13, until on the last day, they bought 7, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. You'll see in the columns, you have Yimei HaChag, you have parim, elim, seir, and kvasim. So now, the number on the first day is 30, and it goes down to 24. You see that? Now, where do you get your 30 from? Start from the right side, going across the top axis. 13 parim, 2 elim is 15, 1 seir is 16, 14 kvasim. That's a total of 30. Good. So now, if I have 24 people, I have to divide 30 karbanos among 24 mishmarim. Good. So now, I'm divide the first. Keep the kvasim separate. The kvasim are separate. Good. Yeah, you have a phone, Chaim? Oh, good. So keep the kvasim separate. So you have 13, 2 and 1 is 16. Good. Now I have 24. So I took care of the 24. I took care of 16 of mishmarim using the parim. That I took care of that. That's gone. Now, how much do I have left? Right? I have left 14. I'm going to have 14 left among how many? 8, because I took care of 16. So those 14 are going to be divided up as following. Go to the last column. 2 kvasim will go to 6. Mishmarim is 12, and 1 keves will go to 2 and 2. So in other words, I just used up a total of all 30. How did I divide it up? The parim, the elim, and the seirim, those were 16. They went to 16 of the what? Now, 24 minus 16 gives me 8. So I have 14 karbanis to take care of the 8. I have 14 karbanis to take care of among 8. How do I divide this 14 karbanis? Take a look at the last 2 columns. 6 and 2 is 8. I'm dividing the 14. 6 are getting 2, which is 12, and the other 2 are getting 1. That's the total. You just used it all up. Let's go to the next line. Next line, I have 1 less carbon. I have a total of 29. So I have still 24 mishmarim, and I have 29 karbanis to divide up. So the parim, elim, and seirim are 15. Good. Keep the kvasim separate. That's 15. So out of my 24 mishmarim, I used up 15. 24 minus 15 leaves me with 9. So now I have 14 karbanis to divide among 9 people. Take a look, 5 and 4, right? So 5 in the mishmarim will get 2, which is 10, and they'll have 2 more, right? Then the other one is going to get, other one will get 2 each, a total of 4. There you go. There's your 9, and so on and so forth. Let's go to Shishi, see how it works out. Go to the sixth day. I have 8 parim, 2 elim, and 1 seir. That's 11. I have 14 kvasim. That's the total of 25. So now, if I have 8, 2, and 1, which is a total 11, that's going to be I'm going to have left over 13. right? I'm going to have 11 we used up. I have now to divide up 14 korbanos among 13 people. So one mishpah is going to get 2, and the other ones, each one's going to get a separate one. It's a total of 13. Until finally the last day, 7 parim, 2 elim, 1 seer, that's 10, 14 kvasim, 10 and 14 is 24. Yeah, perfect there, you get 14. Geschmack chart. Guys, you'll see. The Mishnah will go geschmiert now. Followed along? Everyone followed along? Good? You're all good? Guys, you're all good? Okay, great. Okay, let's see. So let's see the Gemara inside now. Says the Mishnah, Yom Tov Arishon Shel Chag, the Yom Tov Arishon and the Chag, Hayisham Yud Gimel Parim, there were Yud Gimel Parim, Elim Shnayim, 2 Elim. I really should keep it up there so you have a reference towards it. So I will. I'll keep it on the screen there. So the first day of the Chag, again, you had 13 Parim, 2 Elim, 2 rams, Seir Echad, 1 seir, Nishtayu Sham Yudal Kvasim. That leaves me 14. L'shmoina mishmaris, because again, you used up 16. So you left 14. 14 is left for 8 mishmarim. So therefore, beyond Rishon, Shishim Akrivim Shnayim, of the 8 mishmarim left over, and you have the 14 karbonis, 6 will bring 2, which is a total of 12. V'hashar, and the other 2, echad, which is 14. Guys, you good so far? It's beautiful. B'sheni, on day number 2, Chamisha Makrivim Shnayim. You're going to have 5 bring 2, which is a total lot of 10. V'ashar echad, and the remaining 4 will go ahead. Again, 14, I think, 1 apiece. B'shlishi Dalid Makrivim Shnayim. On the 3rd day, you're going to have 4 bring 8, and then you're going to have 1 6. V'ashar echad. B'revi Shloisha Makrivim Shnayim. On day number 4, 3 of them are going to bring, of the remaining, again, you have 14 kvasim. You have to go ahead and among the remaining 11 mishmarim. So 3 will go to what? To the kvasim. That'll be a total of 6. And other mishmarim will bring 8. Singularly is 14. The Chamishi, Shnayim, that's Shnayim, the Chamishi on day number 5, you're going to have left over. Again, day number 5, if you have 9 parim, 2 elim, and 1 seer, is 9, 10, 12. You can have 12 left over, right? So the 12 left over, what are you going to do? Shnayim avrigim shnayim, b'ashar echad echad. B'shishi echad makar shnayim, b'ashar echad echad. B'shvi kulin shavim. And finally, on the last day, they're all equal. Why? You know, there's 24 mishmarim. There's only going to be 10 elim, 10 parim elim and seir. It's going to be a total of 10, and you're going to have left over 14 for the different mishmarim that are left over. So that, okay, guys, that goes quickly. Now, B'shmini, on Shmini Atzeres, Chazul Payas Korban Golem. You have a new payas. Guys, remember we said Pazar Kashab. We said that Shmini Atzeres was different than Yontif, its own Pazar Kashab. The P stand for payas. It's a payas b'fiyatzma. It's got its own lottery. Good. Now, the last line is a little funny. Now, Omru mi shehikra parim. The Karolam Omru mi shehikra parim. One who brought today should not bring tomorrow. They had as a rotation. So then that's the next chart. There's another chart. There's another. You guys have the other chart, right? I don't know how to get this thing up. No. How to? Oh, there you go. Now, going down, you have the 24 mishmarim, guys. So watch. Again, the first day, how many rams do you have in the first day? How many parim you have in the first day? 13, right? Yeah. So good. Start at the top and go down. 13. So go to Yud Gimel. The last one, you got the names. The last one is Lechufa. He's going to be the last one to bring the pot. Good. Then the next 2 are going to get the El. And then number 16 is going to get the Seir. Then you have 14 more to go, right? You have going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 12, 13, 14. Guys, good? Where? Don't go across the top. Go down, Doc. Go down. Go down. It's Yom Echad. Guys, you got it? You saw that? So you had 13 parim, 2 elim is 15, seir is 16, and 14 kvasim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 12, 13, 14. Now, on the second day, Yehoyariv is going to bring a par again. Good. And going down, you got the whole thing. On the third day, fourth day. So if you go across now, you'll find the following. Each one of the mishmarim will triple on the par. Each one going across now. Watch. Go to the top. Yom Aleph, Yom Beis, and Yom Hey. Got it? Next one. Yom Aleph, Yom Gimel, Yom Hey. Let's skip now Yud Aleph. Yud Aleph, Yud Gimel, and day 6. Okay, go down to number Chaf Beis. Chaf Beis. Again, par on day number 2, par on day number 4, and what? And par on day number 7. Go to the last two. The last two guys. What? Last two. Chaf Gimel, Yom Beis a par, and Yom Hey a par. That's it. Same thing. Good. So everyone's going to triple except the last two.
So that's be difficult. The first Mishmar brought the par twice.
Okay. It doesn't. Where does it bring it to twice? Where?
Today shouldn't bring it.
No. Who brought them on the same day, Doc?
No, Yom Aleph brought, and then he brought in Yom Beis.
Okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. They go back. It goes back into the rotation. Okay. So now, name him Asnisan Rabbi. Okay, guys, good. Okay. So those are two very, very good charts to explain. Or it could be a difficult Gemara, but it's not. Okay. I like when I give myself accolades, but it works, right? It is really good. So now, L'chora, guys, we said Shmini, the last two went back into a pias. Good. Who was part of that pias? All of them, or just the last two guys who didn't get a chance to bring the par the third time? So now, name Maslis and Rabbi Hivlei Rabbanan, the Tanya, Paraba B'Shmini, the par that's brought on the 8th day, B'Tchila Mafisin Love. You're going to go ahead and be Mephis. And the very Rebbe, meaning everyone goes into it. One of the two mishmarim that didn't triple, the parim, makes it good. So the Chayra Amish is mashma that they all go back in, because this says a pious. And according to Rabbanan, it's mashma that what? No, the other guys don't go in. It's either one or two. For the Gemara, I feel him Rabbanan. And for the Gemara, I feel him Rabbanan. Atushte mishmaros loy afusi boy. Don't the last two have to put a pious between them? In other words, all it says that the Shmini is part of a pious. It doesn't mean that the pious has to be on everyone. The pious to be on those two that are in the ballpark, the ones who didn't do 3. So the Chachamim could be the Tana of a Mishnah. When it's said that you have a pious by itself for Shmini Atzeres, it doesn't have to be the pious goes on every single of the 24. It can mean on number Chav Gimel and Chav Daled, right? And of course, you would need a lottery to decide in between which two. Says the Gemara. K'man Ozla the Tanya, Kol Mishmaros Shoinais u'Mishalshais. All the Mishmaros would go 2 and 3 times. Chutz Mishnei Mishmaros Sheshoinais ve'ein Mishalshais. Except the last 2, they went twice and 3 times. Name a Rebbe he v'loy Rabbanon. Because according to Rabbanon, the third guys got to appear. Guys, according to the Chachamim, the last set is going to be a par. So you're going to have, but the Mishnah says what?
Not 0.
0. So says the Gemara, that must be, I feel him Rabbanan. My loy shilshu. Now the Havamina is, guys, it means with all the kabbanis. It says my loy shilshu with priyachag. What does it mean loy shilshu? They were mishalish in the priyachag, in the bulls. Well, my kamashma, you're telling me a number that they didn't repeat itself. We can do the math. It might be a little difficult math, but we did it, right? The Mishnah doesn't waste its words. Hakamashmalan, Mishik of Paramayoim, La Yaakov Lamacha, Alachaisim Khalila, they should go back into this rotation. Amar Rebbe Elazar, Says Rabbi Laza, Hani Shivas Parim Keneged me, Keneged, because again, guys, this is very strange, right? It's not just to make it hard for you to daven as a kid and to find the right thing to say in Musaf, right? It's a very strange thing, right? You're bringing 70 parim, you count up to 70, and descending waters from 13. There's no such animal, excuse the pun, in the Torah. There's no such thing. Every yontif you have 7 kvasim, oila, chatas, sir chatas. We have go to Pashas Pinchas. You have mamish, set things, right? And over here, parim, 30, 70. So there must be something deeper behind that. So this is where the Gemara discusses it. And you all have heard of this. Says the Gemara, Hani Shivim Parim Keneged me, Keneged Shivin Umais. This is Keneged the 70 nations, right? Par Yechidi Lama. And what about the Par Yechidi brought on Shmini Atzeres? Keneged Uma Yechidi. Keneged the Uma Yechidi. It says Rashi, guys, look at this. Shivim Parim, Priya Chag Shivim Heim. Chutz Mishal Shmini, Keneged Shivim Umais. Lechapar Alehem, Sheyordu Geshamim B'chal Olam. We know that the world is judged on water on Sukkot, and the Goyim need water. So you know what? Those parim, we bring parim for the Goyim, for kapara for them. That should be able to go ahead and get water. Kapara for them. Because in Sukkot, there's need on water. Good. And par yechidi shel shmini, that is keneged what? Us. Rashi, now the Gemara brings a mashal. Mashal melech basa b'dam, shamu la'avodav, asali suda gedayla, li'anachra, on the last day, amar lo'yavai, asali suda katana. Look, suda katana between us, k'dei shahanim imcha, that should have enough from you. So therefore, Rashi says, Einli haniyas v'karas ruach b'shal elu, I have no karas ruach from the previous 70, ela b'shal. That one that you bring, I'll have that, I have what? That I have enough from. That one thing. All the 70 before, that's for them. HaKadosh Baruch Hu had no enough from it. But for you, that one thing, like what do you say, kosher like pedaskan, guys, right? Shmini Atzeres, kosher like pedaskan. It fits in beautiful, right? But this is come up. Rabbi Yochanan, oilahem lo'evdei kechavim, woe to the goyim, she'avdu, ve'ein yoidim ma she'avdu. They lost, and they don't know what they lost. Bisman shebeis hamikdash kayim, mizbeach mechap aleim, achshav mi mechap aleim. I wonder if in Africa there was less droughts during the time of the Beis Hamikdash. Stomach. Like you have these places, Lailenu, that droughts, like you see the earth is parched, it hasn't seen water in I don't know how long. I wonder if it was Banabayas, when they were bringing these 70 kabbanas, I wonder what the status was. In Africa, sure, they had Kush, and Kush is Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lost tribes, right?
Now, they said American Indians. Okay, anyway. Guys, geschmack, right? The chart put everything in its perspective, and again, you have a havana now of the Priya Chag, and also what you say when you daven Musaf on Yontif. Says the Mishnah, B'shloisha prakim b'shana. Again, guys, we have 24 mishmarim. They used to all work 1 week. 1 week. Each mishmar made up of 6 bati avos. They were each one worked a day, and they were all worked on Shabbos. And Shabbos, by the Karban Musaf, they switched. The Lechem upon him went to 6 going in, 6 going out. So, however, there was no rotation. There was no rotation when it came to what? To Yontif. When Yontif, they were all there. Busy time. So, B'shloisha prakim b'shana hayu kol mishmar shavos be'emuri haragolim. Emurim usually means what? It usually means the part that goes to Hashem. The Gemara is going to guess it, right? But over here, the emuri regolim means, guys, it means the chazav v'shoik of the shalmei chagiga, and the skin of the oilus re'iyah. The Kohanim get the leather. They get the skin of the oil, which is totally burnt. They also get the chazav v'shoik, the chest and the back right foot of the carbon shalmei chagiga. So they were all equal. In other words, the mishmar can't say, this is my mishmar, and I have, if it's a regel, the carbon brought for the regel, they're all equal. Anything brought machmas the regel, that's the key over here. Anything brought machmas the regel, they're all equal. Ubechiluk lechem aponim. In addition, they were equal, even though it's not machmas the regel, they were equal in the lechem aponim. And that seris I'm reloi, and at seris they would say, Heilech matzah, heilech chametz. Again, we know that there's shtei lechem were brought on Shavuos to matter with along with the kibsi at seris. It mattered the chodesh in the Beis Hamikdash. It was brought then, and it was made from chametz. Only 1 or 2 kabbanas made from chametz. That and the carbon toida was made from chametz. You have 10 of the rolls, and you're not allowed to go ahead and say, each kohen has to get a piece of the action. Mendy can't say to Chaim, listen, Chaim, I really like this piece of meat. You like that stuff? I'll trade you for mincha. You can't do it. You have to get equally divided up. So you would say Halach matzah, Halach chametz. Don't say, oh, I want a little chametz more. Anyway, Mishma shezmana kavua, who makriv tamidim. The Mishma whose mamas kavua, in other words, the week of the Chag, who's supposed to be there according to the rotation, who makriv tamidim. He would be makriv the carbon tamid, the Dorav and the Davais, because those are not machmas the regal. Those are brought all the time. Those are brought all the time. The Sharka Kabanas Tzibor and all the rest of the Kabanas of the Tzibor, who makriv esakol, and he would bring all the Kabanas Tzibor and makriv esakol. We'll see what that comes to include. Okay, so we said that Muri Regolim, they're equal, and I told you, speaking about the Chassav Shakar Shamei Chagiga and the Iris of the Oilus Riyah, the Or of the Oilus Riyah. Muri Haragolim shall divide in. What do you mean you're dividing up to the Khanim, guys? Muri Regolim, they belong to what? Imurim are the innards, the fats that go to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So I'm Rav Chisda, Masha Omar B'Regolim, not Imure Regolim, but Masha Omar B'Regolim. Play on words, the word Imure Aleph Mem Resh. In other words, as I said, only machmas the regalim do are they all equal? Tanabanim. Minayin shekol mishmar shabbos beimur regalim tamaloymar uba bechol avais nafshay. It'll come the one who has a desire in his nefesh v'sheiris and he'll serve. Yachal av b'shay yimos hashana kain tamaloymar me'achad she'arecha le'amarti ela b'shor shekol Yisrael nichnosim b'sharechad. When did all Yisrael nichnas b'sharechad? Guys, that's on the regal, and they're all in the bayis echad. And then it says. Anyone that comes can go ahead and serve, and you're not limited. And the people who are working can't say, that's it. Look at Rashi, guys. The bottom Rashi, 3 lines in the bottom. The mishmar cannot go ahead and say, no, I'm working. Since the zeicha, the rule of thumb, once they work, they get paid. The kohen who works it, to him it belongs. Even though it says in that pasuk, it's speaking about Leviim, that's speaking about Kahanim. So therefore, we know the Imurim over here is speaking to the Imuri Regolim, and B'chol Avos Nafshay, but anyone comes and gets it, meaning all the Kahanim that come and get it. Be'ez Hashem, tomorrow night we will finish Masechta Sukkah Be'ez Hashem Yisparach.